Hey, what's up? My name is Gio, and today let's check out OTTO 1111 in the full mix. Alright guys, welcome back. So what you just heard was the first 3 or so minutes of a song called Withstand the Fall of Time from a band called Immortal. So this multi-track session, I downloaded it from Omega Station, and I'll leave the link to his YouTube channel in the description of this video for you guys to go check out what he does. And you might find some sessions there that you might like to practice on as well. But anyway, I already made a video using this OTTO Audio 1111 amp, but it wasn't in the full mix. So people, kind of busted my chops and said, well, how do you know it's a good amp if it's not in the mix? And my answer to that is, what if you just like playing guitar in your room and you own guitar sims? What's wrong with that? Nothing, right? But anyway, I made a video to let you guys hear how that amp sounds in the full mix. And then another person, and I forget who it was, and not that it matters much, you want to know why I use guitar MIDI in my sessions. I've never used guitar MIDI once, even in any of my sessions. These are the guitar tracks right here, see? That's not MIDI. This is MIDI up here for the drums. And to be honest with you, I don't even like using MIDI for bass. I think it sounds like complete garbage, and it does not sound natural at all. I don't care what you put on that track either. It just doesn't sound right. But anyway, yeah. So I either use, I use DIs for guitar, DI for bass, MIDI for drum, or stemmed out recorded drum tracks. And yeah. And if you want to know the difference between a stem and a DI, that's all you need to do is Google that, right? And you'll find out what it's all about. So we'll give that a try as well. So let me talk about what I have going on these tracks. That'll conclude this video, and I get to go to sleep because I'm tired as hell, right? And before we go any further, if you like what I am doing, please subscribe, like, share my content, because it helps out my channel and it makes me happy. So let's proceed. What's going on in here? Master track, as you guys have seen like probably a million times by now. I like using SSL native plugins because to me they sound killer, they're high quality, and they're hard to duplicate using other types of plugins. They're industry standard, SSL native. All the pros use them, right? They're built-in consoles. So my first one's a channel strip plugin, right? Just use the EQ. Then I move in to a bus compressor where I glue everything up, and I usually run about 4:1 compression ratio, as you can see. Next, EQ4 by Meg. It's a tonal EQ. This EQ right here, you cannot replicate this with stock plugins in any DAW. I don't care what DAW you use, because this is very unique. It's a very unique EQ that you can't replicate this. You have to have this in order to achieve the tones that this gives you. Right? It's like a treasure to mix and mastering artist. Next, Imager by Ozone. It's a really good plugin. You could actually mix and master just using Ozone if you like. And it works just fine if you know what you're doing. Next is this Maximizer plugin / limiter. And yeah, I use FabFilter limiter as well. But I like this plugin as well. So that's why I use it. And then lastly on my chain, I like using this U-Lean loudness meter, because I like to see where I'm at. Alright? You can't hear where you're at because your ears are, human, they're not robotic. So I don't care how good of a mix or mastering engineer you are, you cannot tell. You could basically tell, but not if you want to be accurate. You need a meter for this. Right? You just pick what platform you want to master at, and it gives you set parameters. I always use this at the end of my mastering chain. Maybe you guys should get in the habit of doing so as well. And your mixes will sound a lot better as well. Let's move on to the drums, where I'm using Superior Drummer 3. Even though I do like the new Cult 2 drums, they're pretty killer sounding actually. Which is weird for me to say that because I uninstalled all their crap months ago, but I'm revisiting them now. And I do like them. But again, I like Superior Drummer 3 the most out of any drum VSTI because it is the best. Right? I haven't found one that is better than this. So this is a preset I made. So I don't have to do all these I don't have to do all this monkeying around in the mixer. I just pick it and I go. It's very slight adjustments I have to make. Then I'm going into this Opticom XLA3 compressor to add a little bit of punch. Almost like a parallel compression, if you will. Right? And I like this a lot, actually. This is set to 50% too, by the way. Right? Then for whatever reason, I went into this plugin afterwards by Get Good Drums called Smash and Grab. And again, this is set to parallel compression setting. and I adjusted some of these parameters, all right, as you can see. Sounds pretty good. Then finally into this limiter, just to make sure that nothing clips into the rat of my drum track. All right, that's it. For my bass guitar, I'm running one track into Neural DSP Parallax. And again, this is another one of my own presets. If you want, go ahead, copy it. I won't sue you. You can use it, right? I won't come after you. I promise. Here's a cab section, all right? Pretty simple. Pro Q3 EQ for low pass and high pass. Little bump at 141. Some frequencies I took out I didn't like. That's that. So there's two guitars that are playing 100% left and right. DI tracks. Feed into this guitar bus right here. Right? So I'm doing high pass and low passing before it even hits the amp. Because I don't want to bombard the amp with the full frequency spectrum. So as you can see, I have it filtered at 109 hertz and at about 7,000 hertz. Going into the amp. Where I'm running this preset right here, articulate in stereo, right? This impedance curve is set to curve 4. So as you go down this impedance curve parameter, it you get the sense of more and more sound, right? But I don't want to talk too much about that because there's already a lot of videos on YouTube that explain, this impedance business and also this business right here. And that, to be honest with you, I don't even want to talk about it either. I just don't feel like it. But yeah, so here's the parameters that are for that preset, right? As you can see. This punish is like an overdrive. This plus 10 dB boost is another type of boost on top of the overdrive. And then you have this low parameter, all right? That adds, bottom end to the overall sound. Gate, your choice of power tube section right now, it's on KT88. And again, this section right here, which more or less gives you different tones, when you start playing all these parameters. So this amp's really not modeled after any particular amp. You could get like crazy amount of tones with this thing, right? And I just went through a bunch of presets, picked one that I kind of liked for this mix. But man, you could get crazy tones with this Samson. All right, so there you have it, guys. Here's the cab section, resonance controls, amplitude control. Sorry about that. In which you could bypass and run your own third-party IRs if you like as well, which I usually do because I like running Bogren or Christian Cole impulses because they're freaking killer. But you could run whatever impulses you prefer. That's just my opinion. All right? So yeah, this amp's pretty cool in the mix. Sounds good. Right? And it also sounds good if you're playing guitar in your room as well. Going into another Pro Q3 EQ, where I did even more shaping, right? As I always do in all my videos as well. So guys, this is my guitar chain, right? Pro Q3 EQ. That you have an amp of whatever you like to use, and or an impulse response loader. Then I run again another Pro Q3 EQ, just to more of a additive type of EQ, even though I am notching out some frequencies that I don't like. So you could say that it's both additive and subtractive, if you will. But I don't want to get into all the geeky bullshit because I don't care too much to talk about it. Going into this multi-band compressor, as I always run, into some sort of Pultec EQ. Then I'm going into this maximizer, and then into this Pro L2 limiter. All right. So I hope you guys like this video. And guys, yeah, by now, right, if you've been watching my videos, you kind of know my attitude. And yeah, sometimes I can come off as like being a dick or a snob or whatever other words you like to call me, which is fine. It's cool. But yeah, that this is who I am. All right. I don't hide behind any walls, and I say stuff as it comes to my mind. You know what I'm saying? I just say it because I think I have the liberty to do so, even though there are consequences at times for some of the words that I do use, which I am aware of, by the way. But yeah, I'm Gio, and this is what you get. So I hope you like this video, guys. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later, man. See ya.